Hello everyone and welcome back to Bhansa classes. So I hope all of you are doing great and super duper excited for today's session where we are going to talk more about lines and angles. So what we are going to talk about today is the different pairs of lines, right? But before we move ahead to this particular topic, let's have a quick recall of what all we did in our previous session. So we talked about related angles. Remember, complementary angles and supplementary angles. So what were complementary angles? Those angles whose sum is equal to 90 degree. And what are supplementary angles? The angles whose measure is equals to 180 degree. Right? So this was all about complementary angles and supplementary angles. Now let's move ahead to our today's topic where we are going to cover about pair of lines which are intersecting lines and parallel lines, and also we are going to talk about a different line which is called a transversal. So let's learn about these topics in detail and keep noting down the important points, right? So here we start with the session for intersecting lines. But before we move to intersecting lines, I hope everybody knows the meaning of intersect, right? Which meet. So let's see then what are intersecting lines. When two lines meet, they are called intersecting lines. So here you can see L1 and L2 are two lines and they are meeting at a common point which is P, and this point P is called the point of intersection. Two lines wherever they are meeting, that point is called point of intersection, and there are many real life examples to it. Few of them are over here for you, right? So this is all about intersecting lines. Now let's see a very important thing about intersecting lines. Do you remember two lines cannot intersect at more than one point? Yes, so here they are meeting at just one common point, but on the other hand, more than two lines can intersect at one point, right? They can intersect at one common point, like over here. You can see the four different lines are meeting at this common point. Yeah, great. So these are two interesting points to be noted down. Now moving to our next pair of lines, that is parallel lines. But before that, I hope everybody is clear with intersecting lines. So do try it out with your hands as well, like this. So this is an example of intersecting lines, right? Now let's see what are parallel lines. Parallel lines are the lines which do not meet at any point, right? Like this, right? They will never meet. Over here, L1 and L2, they do not have any common point, so no point of intersection in them, right? In your real life, you can see the footpath crossing, the railway tracks. They are made up of parallel lines, right? Because these two sides of the footpath never meet. Got it? Interesting, yeah? Let's move ahead and now see what's a transversal. So till now we have talked about two different pairs of lines, that is intersecting lines and parallel lines. Now let's talk about transversal. So what's a transversal? It's a line that intersects two or more lines at distinct points. That means at different points. Intersecting lines used to intersect at one point, but in transversal, they intersect at two distinct points. So in this particular figure, you can see that point P and point Q. These are the two distinct points where the lines L1 and L2 are intersecting each other, right? But similarly, if you compare it with the intersecting lines, it's like this. Right? There is only just one common point of intersection, but here they intersect at two distinct points. So for this also we have real life examples like the grill. Yeah, we also have the road crossing. Yes, got it everybody? So till now we have talked about what are intersecting lines, parallel lines and transversal. So let's move ahead and solve few particular questions. From the given diagram, so diagram is in front of us, which is the transversal? So whenever they ask you which is the transversal or name the pairs of parallel lines, we should always go back to its concept. So what's a transversal? It's a line where two or more than two lines intersect at distinct points, right? So here if you see, we have two different lines as AB and CD, right? And they are intersected by a common line that is PQ. So then which is the transversal? ABCD or PQ? Yes, you got the concept right. It's PQ. So PQ is the transversal which is intersecting two different lines, that is AB and CD. Yeah, clear everybody? Great. So let's move ahead to our next question for the day. If a line is a transversal to three lines this time, yes, remember the definition of transversal? We said it can intersect two or more than two lines. So here we are catering to three lines. How many points of intersection are there? So again we have a transversal as PQ in this diagram, which is intersecting three different lines, that is AB, CD and EF. So if it's intersecting three lines, obviously it is intersecting at three distinct points, right? And they are asking you the names of these three distinct points. So what are the names of these three distinct points? It's L, M and N. Isn't that interesting? Yeah? So L, M and N are the 3 points of intersection which is made by the line transversal PQ. So this is how we solve the questions based on pairs of lines, that is intersecting lines and parallel lines, and also on transversal. So now let's move ahead and summarize what all we had covered in the session today. We talked about pairs of lines, intersecting lines. Let's quickly draw a few diagrams for that. Like this is intersecting line, right? Which intersects at one common point. Yeah? Parallel lines which do not meet each other at any point of time. And transversal which can intersect three or more different parallel lines. Yeah? Three or more different lines. They can be parallel also and they can be non-parallel lines also. So this was all about pairs of lines and transversal. So before we meet in the next class for a new topic, keep practicing, keep exploring about these topics and do spark your curiosity. Bye-bye.